recording?
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone. I know that a lot of people have expressed concern, like if we're okay because of the wildfires and what it's like. So I wanted to take you on a little tour of what it's like to wake up with a crazy wildfire raging just a few miles away. So this is our HEPA filter, and I already checked the fire map this morning, and it looks like it's going to be really bad again.
The smoke, you mean?
The smoke, yeah. So it's like 300, I think, is the average quality index, and at that point it's very hazardous to breathe the air. It burns your eyes, it burns your throat, it hurts your chest. It's pretty bad. So we're all going to gather around the HEPA filter today. Let's take it downstairs.
Yep, looks foggy, looks smoky.
Did you Okay, HEPA filter's on. We clean the screens. It looks like it's purple, i.e. air quality is really bad. I haven't had breakfast yet, but this is what it looks like outside. That is not fog. Okay, so we're gonna head outside, but before we do that, we have to make sure that we put our mask on because the smoke out there is pretty dangerous to breathe. Rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Oh, this is still in Hazel's mode, isn't it? Is that like right? Okay. Let's go. Okay, I suppose I should preface this by saying that it hasn't rained here in Portland. Well, we're right outside of Portland. In roughly, I'd say since June. And it's about 9 o'clock in the morning now. September 12th. So let's go take a look at some of what's happening. So the fire is pretty far away from here, several miles away. But the thing that started this off was we had a event where a bunch of really dry air blew in from East Oregon and like 50-mile-an-hour gusts. And because it's already so dry to begin with, that's a dangerous situation, and it's very easy for fires to spark off. So let's go take a look at some of the trees. You can definitely, even through the P100 filter, I can still smell some of it. And it smells like a campfire that was never put out. There's my persimmon tree. The leaves are folded up a little bit, saying that it needs more water, but it's still okay. It's still got a fruit on it. That one did okay. This tree, the Asian pear, took more damage. It looks like the wind actually stripped some of the leaves off of it. You can see right here, like this used to have leaves, but now it doesn't. Surprisingly, it held on to the fruit. I don't know how. They're just not done yet. And some things that took more damage would be, check out my cherry tree. It's missing like half its leaves. But let's go take a look at it. Is it dead? Is it gonna die? Probably not. And why is that? Because if you look at this, you've got buds that are coming out for next year, and they still look okay. So even though all the leaves have been stripped off of it, these buds are going to come out next year, and it'll be fine. It's not a great situation though. Like, it should have had probably another month of sunlight. Let's take a look at some other stuff. So here's the garden.
garden, you know, it's pretty much done for the year, so I don't think it looks that much worse than normal. Grass is kind of dry and crunchy. Take a look at my seaberry over here and persimmon. Seaberry got hit pretty hard. That lost a lot of leaves. And over here, this is where the winds come through. They pull through this way, or they push through this way, I don't know, like back this way. Because there's houses on this side and there's houses on this side, it creates kind of a tunnel where wind just pushes through. But yeah, take a look at the smoke up here. I mean, normally we can see for miles, especially in the summer when it's just cloudless. And the camera phone, or the camera on the phone is not picking this up really well, but everything kind of has like a sepia tone to it. Kind of washed out, kind of like a gray, brown, yellow color, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see, but it is definitely depressing. My eyes are burning being out here, and I think I'm gonna go back in. You know, before I go back in, let's take a look at the few things in the front yard. All is not lost. Here's my little fig nursery. Here's the figs that are just cuttings that are getting ready to root. Here's my baby potted figs. They still look okay. That leaf down there doesn't look okay, but it'll be alright. Figs make it through these kind of events pretty easily because they're kind of like a cactus and they store water. So they look okay. And things like my banana tree, well, that doesn't look so good. That looks like it got hit with a flamethrower. Let's go take a look at the fig trees over here. Alright, here we go. So this is my black Spanish. It normally ripens figs around this time of year. Some of the leaves got shredded due to the very intense gusty winds. But you know, there's still some figs on there. This one's actually almost done. And normally it was supposed to be, the weather was calling for it to be like 85 today, which would have been terrible. But with all the smoke in the air, it's actually in the 50s right now. So I'm actually not sure if these are going to ripen. They still feel pretty hard. Yeah, this one's tough. So far so good on this. It looks like it's leaning a little bit. The wind's pushed it over. I'm gonna have to stake it this weekend. But yeah, these look okay. This little baby fig looks okay. This is my Tacoma violet. Over here, these are a gumi. This is a gumi bush, and this is a quince tree. Quince tree took some damage. Looks like some leaves got ripped off of it. But it's still mostly foliated, so yeah, I think it'll be okay. And again, we can look at the buds on this. And it looks like there's some buds that are fine for next year. Funny enough, quince actually comes from Turkey and like Iraq. So this is actually not a big deal for them. You can see my strawberry path. It was looking very lush in the spring, but yeah, it hasn't rained in months, so it's all died down. Oh, I mean, it's not dead, but it's definitely dry. The grass is kind of crunchy. So this is my Latarula fig. Same thing. It's got figs on it. They're on their way to ripening, but they're not quite done yet. See, like down here, with this one, getting pretty close. So I don't know if the smoke blows away. You know, we might get figs. Here, let's take a look at the quince tree over here. This looks fine. Same thing. Some leaves got ripped off of it. But the fruits are still ripening. It's got most of its leaves still. Some of them are a bit curled up, but it looks okay. So yeah, this is the situation here. Sucks. Basically can't really do anything outside because it's hazardous to breathe the air. And we kind of just have to like sit inside and hover around the HEPA filter, which is depressing. So after the Eagle Creek fire, if any of you are familiar with that, we tried to prepare a little bit for this because this is kind of what the future is going to be like, more of these kind of events. And we bought a HEPA filter for the room and some extra masks for us to breathe. Yeah, this is kind of like what climate change looks like. Not specifically this, but the fact that it's getting drier and the amount of area that burns every year is getting bigger. This is the result. And you know, the other kind of eerie thing right now is normally there's tons of bees flying around. There's just nothing right now, and it's really weird. I know it's like a normal defense mechanism for them. When they see smoke, they kind of like get ready and they hang out in their hive for a while. Anyway, that's that. The camera's not doing a great job picking this up. It looks like fog, but it's not. Other than that, you know, we're okay. Hopefully this ends probably next week. It looks like there's going to be some rain in the forecast. So, I mean, even if it doesn't rain, if it just cools off a little bit and stops being so dry, I think that'll be enough for the firefighters to kind of get this under control. All right.